welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much to my subscribers. Welcome newcomers. I hope you like what you see, and if so, be part of this journey with us, growing one big family. And I appreciate all the support I can get. I want to mention that if the video is too fast for you on my tutorials, up top there's 3 little buttons on the right hand corner for most of you. For some of you, it's on your settings as you go to the video. For the 3 little buttons up top, click there. It tells you to slow down the video to the speed you'd like. Also turn the CC caption, which is right next to the 3 little buttons, so you can read all the stitch calling that I'm doing. Down here, everything will be written. You could also choose the language you like by just clicking on the 3 little buttons and go to the language you would like, and you would have it on your own language, everything written down here. So I also want to mention thank you so much for the people that came through for the thread and have donated some money, either through the super thanks or through my PayPal account. Now, when you do the super thanks, YouTube itself takes 30% of whatever you're donating through there. Obviously, PayPal, they don't take anything, but choice is yours. You can do whatever you'd like, as long as you have it in your heart to help out the women in need of thread. And I thank you in advance, and they do too. Please don't forget to give a thumbs up on the video. It's extremely important. Also, sharing is caring. And invite your friends to the channel. I also have the crochet group, private group, if you'd like to be in the private group. All you have to do is request, and one of my monitors will review, as long as you have a profile picture, and accept you into the group. I also have a crochet page. You can follow me through there. On Facebook, of course. This is all Facebook. Also Instagram, if you need any help with creating some patterns and you're stuck and you have Instagram, you can message me through Instagram. It's much easier and faster to get a hold of me. I also have TikTok. Everything is on the description box. All the video links, if I have part 1, 2, 3, also is in the description box. Below the video, there's a little arrow like a V right on the right hand side below the video. You click on there, it opens up that page, and all the links are there. So thank you once again. We are going to get started. Please be careful if you're involved into the crochet groups. There's a lot of scammers, and they launch links with bits and cuts. These are scammers. They will rob you, your identity, and all your information on your phone or your computers. Don't open those sites up. It's extremely important that you are careful, because there's a lot going on into the crochet groups nowadays. Okay, let's get started, everyone. Okay, everyone. So I had uploaded the doily with pearls and flowers yesterday, and I had mentioned that I'd be creating the table runner. Now, as I mentioned on this tutorial, this is not my creation nor my design. This is from Lucivania ArtesCroche. She's a Brazilian artist. Amazing. I will leave her link below. You could always check it out and put it in English. You have to go to the language preferable. And I absolutely loved the doily that she came up with. Absolutely stunning. I do have a similar one, my own, but not with flowers. Okay, so I mentioned I would be creating the table runner, and that's exactly what we're going to do today. So I'm going to use the white, and I'm going to use the greens, and the multicolored purple. My camera does not give us justice on colors. Let me see if I can turn a little bit more lighting here. Okay, so I have this purple, and I was so saddened when I took the pictures, and even with the video trying to put it up as a thumbnail picture, it doesn't bring out those beautiful colors as you can see on here. So look at that. On pictures, it looks nothing like it, unfortunately, but it is what it is. I can't do anything about it. I also have this green and a little tiny little bit of this green. Hopefully I can find a little bit more to complete this table runner with it, or else I'm just going to have to use this same green. So these are 4-ply, 100% cotton thread, or might even use this multicolored green. Similar to Aunt Lydia, mine's a little bit thinner. So obviously my patterns are a little bit smaller if you're using Aunt Lydia. So if I call out 44 centimeters, maybe on Aunt Lydia it's 46 or 48 centimeters, okay? Because it is a little bit thicker, it becomes bigger, the patterns. 2.75 hook, a little one to tuck in loose ends, of course, and a pair of scissors. I hope you're going to enjoy this tutorial. Thank you so much, Lucivania. This is a beautiful creation, and we thank you for sharing it with us. So I will leave all the information below in the description box about her channel. Okay, thank you so much, everyone. Let's get started. Please don't forget to give a thumbs up on the video. It's extremely important. Also, sharing is caring. And join me in my Facebook group. It's a private group, so you're more than welcome as long as you have a profile. And before I forget, we need also beads. Okay, I have these very shiny ones that I've used on that one, so I'll be using the same thing. These are 8mm beads, but of course, if you're using Aunt Lydia, it's thicker thread, so in order to get it through, you will have to go a little bit bigger, probably to 10mm, okay? Okay, so the first thing you want to do is your slip stitch knot. Now I hope that this is not going to whiten out too much. I've tried different colors of background towels in order not to whiten out too much on camera, but I use my mobile, and you know how it is with mobiles. After a while, the coloring just, plays tricks on you. So we're going to do a chain of 55 chain stitch. Okay, so I'll meet you at the end. 55 chain stitch. If you want to go bigger, keep adding by 10. Okay. I've done my 55 chain stitch. I'm going to count, not the one on the hook, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 on my 7th one, and I'm grabbing both loops. If you grab only the top loop, it's going to curve like a U shape. Okay, so you must grab right in the center there. One chain, skip a space into the next one. We're going to build little squares. One chain, skip a space into the next one. You should have 25 squares at the end of this row. So this is row 1. Skip a space into the next one. The centerpiece is pretty much a repeatedly stitch over and over and over. Okay, so I'll meet you at the end. Okay, so I've done my 25 little squares. I'm going to turn around. I'm going to come back into the same space, and I'm going to do a single and chain 2. This equals my double crochet. One more for space. I'm going to do 4 little boxes. We'll call them boxes, okay, or squares. One chain space into the next one. So this is my second little box, my second little square. One chain space again. So I have 3 and one more. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4 little squares. And now we're going to do a 5 double crochet. So 1 on top of the double crochet, 1 inside. This is my 3, my 4th, 1 inside, and my 5th. So I have 5 double crochets in line. Chain 1, come into the next one. We're going to build 3 more little boxes, or little squares if you want to call them. So double crochet over double crochet, and we have 1, 2, and 3 after we finish doing our 5 double crochets. So now we're going to do the 5 double crochets again. So 1 in the center, 1 on top of the double crochet, 1 in the center again, and 1 on top of the double crochet. Okay, we're going to build the 3 little boxes, 1 chain space. I have such a habit of doing 2 chain that I forget. So my first little box, of course I have my little knots because these are all like leftover threads, and I don't put them to waste, I put them to use. No, I don't like the way this stands in my way, so just try to hide as much as I can here. Just go over. And then 1 chain again, and I'm going to create my 3rd box. Now I usually cut, when I see that I've covered enough of these little knots, I cut the leftover out. But because I'm still on that little knot, I'm still going to work with it a bit to hide it. Okay, so we have the 3, and we're going to do the 5 double crochets again. 1 chain, whoops, not 1 chain, we're doing the 5 double crochets. I get distracted, people, I'm sorry, when I'm talking. Still getting used to this recording stuff, you know what I mean? It's not easy, and then the camera in my face, and you know, that's the only way to film, is by having the camera right in your face. So it's kind of complicated. Okay, so 1 on top of the double crochet, 1 inside, 1 on top of the double crochet, 1 inside, and 1 on top of the double crochet. Now I can cut my extra leftover. Okay, so now we have 1, 2, 3 groups of 5. We're going to do again 1 and create the 3 boxes, 3 little squares, 1 chain, 2, and 3. So we have the 3 little squares. We're going to do the 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So now we have 4 groups of 5 double crochet, 3 little squares in the center, and we're going to do the 4 squares at the edge. Exactly the same thing as we started. So we're on our 2nd one and our 3rd one. And the last one, so you have 1 chain there. And this way it stays nice and straight and flat. So now we're going to turn around, and again we're going to come inside of the double crochet we had there with a single and 2 chain that will equal my double crochet, 1 more for space, and a double crochet, 1 chain, and a double crochet, 1 chain. So we're going to have 3 space here. We're going to do 9 double crochet. So we're coming directly into the center. So we have 2 already. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, Oops. Eight and 9. Okay. So again, one chain, a little block. We're going to repeat the 9 double crochets. We're only going to have one blockage between the groups now. So I'm going to come directly inside my first block there where I have the 5 double crochets. So we have 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. Okay, so we have 3 squares here, 9 double crochet, 1 square, 9 double crochet, 1 square, and continue with the 9 double crochet all the way to the end will be like this. And then of course getting to the end we have to have the 3 blocks at the end also. So it's just one space now between them here, and here we'll have 3 because we need to fill the 9 starting here and here and here. So then we're left with 3 little spaces. I'll meet you at the end. This is row 3. Okay, so just to show you, so we started with 3 blocks, 9 double crochet, 1 block, 9 double crochet, 1 block, 9 double crochet, 1 block, 9 double crochet, and 3 blocks like the beginning. Going into row 4. Row 4 is going to change up again. Oops. So I'm going to come in. Well, you could do just 3 chain. I like to do it this way because it looks more like a double crochet. Single 2 chain and 1 chain space. Now this time we're only going to have 2 blocks here at the edge and on the other side too. The whole rest until the end of the row will be double crochets. So we're going to start our first double crochet inside of this 1 chain space and then 1 per space. And where we have that 1 chain space from the blocks, we do 1 double crochet exactly as we did here all the way to the end. And only getting to the end, we do the 2 little boxes exactly how we started. So 1 double crochet inside of the chain space and continue on with your double crochets all the way to the end. Okay, you guys, so pretty much did my 43 double crochets, and that's only on the double crochets here, not the little 2 groups. So 43 double crochets straight, and then my 2 boxes exactly how we started at the beginning. So doing again at the end. I'm going to turn around, 1 2 3 4, going into row 5, coming back in with a single, 2 chain, and 1 for space. This time we're going to have only 1 little block at the edge and at the other edge too. So 1 inside of the space, that's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7 double crochets. Okay, one after another. We're going to create those boxes. We're going to skip a space into the next one. We need 17 boxes, 17 little squares. I'm going to do mine, skip always a space into the next one, skip a space into the next one, till you get 17 of them. Okay, so create your little box at the edge, 7 double crochets, and we need 17 little boxes. Okay, so I've done my 17 little boxes. So we have one doing the 7 double crochets again. 2, 3, 4, 5, one inside of the space, 6, and one on top of the double crochet, 7. And of course we're going to create our last little box exactly how we started at the beginning. Okay. Okay, going into row 6. So row 6 is exactly like row 5, exactly what we just finished doing. So single, 2 chain, 1 chain for space. We're going to have 1 block only, exactly as we just did on this one. Repeat the 7 double crochets, and you will have the same thing at the other edge. It's exactly the same thing as we did on row 5. This is row 6. So your 7 double crochets and your 17 boxes, and then when you get to the end, you need to complete your 7 double crochets and your 1 box left. Okay, so we're just repeating, we're just doing double crochet with double crochet, 1 chain space, the 7, 1 chain space, and your last block. I'll meet you at the end. Okay, everyone, going into row 7. So I'm going to come in the same space. You can do a 3 chain if you prefer. Single, 2 chain, and 1 chain space. I'm coming in and I'm making my first little box, 1 chain space. I'm skipping a space, and I'm having in this row 2 little boxes. I'm going to do a 5 double crochet. That's included with the first one there. So this is 3, 4, and 5. 1 chain. We're going to build those 17 little blocks, little squares, and then coming to the end, we're going to repeat the same thing on here. The 5 double crochets, skip a space, and create a little box. So you'll have 2 at the end. Okay. Okay, everyone. So did my 17 squares. 5 double crochet, 1 chain, skip a space, double crochet, and then 1 chain and into the last one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, going to row 8. Now what we're doing now, this is just the beginning of the foundation to get the pattern prepared, because we'll be working the flowers inside of these little boxes. Well, not the flowers, but the leaves. Okay, so 1 square, we're going to have 3 squares now. Oops, 1 chain space, bad habit of the 2 chain space, right? And into the next one we need 1 more, skip a space, and into the next one. So we're going to have the same thing at the other corner. Here we're going to do the 3 double crochets, and now we're going to complete the 17 squares, little blocks, boxes, whatever we want to call it, right? So you have to have 3 at the end. Same thing here, 1, 2, and then skip a space, and you'll have your 3. And then 3 double crochet. So you'll have 1, 2, 3 double crochet. Then of course, skipping a space here, you'll have your first box, your second box, and your third box. I'll meet you at the end. Okay, everyone, going into row 9. So basically row 8, let me just show you, is the same thing as we started, the 3 little squares and 3 double crochets. 3 double crochets and the 3 little squares. We're going to have these little squares here on both edges all the way to the end of the pattern. So that's just a little index for you. Single, chain 2, plus 1 more for space. We're going to create 2 squares again. And 5 double crochet. So I have 3, 4, and 5. we're going to create the 17. These 17 squares will stay until almost the end, like we have here. Obviously, we have to close the end the same way. Okay, so now we're going to do the 17, then the 5 double crochets on this side, 3, 1 inside and 1 here, and the 2 little squares. I'll meet you on the other side for row 10. Okay, so going into row 10, I'm going to do my single, 2 chain, and 1 for space. So we're going to have 1 square here only. We're creating these motifs here, 1, then 2, and then 3. And then we're going back to 2 and 1, exactly as we started here. I'm going to create the double crochets. We have 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. And we'll be doing the same thing on the other side. So we're going to keep going with the 17 little boxes. We're going to do the 7 double crochets here and only 1 box at the end. Another information for you, I know that some of you that follow me, like Charmaine, she's in Jamaica, and a lot of you cannot get access to number 4-ply or 3-ply event Lydia because islands are limited, right? You can do this on number 10. You could either double it to get a little bit thicker, or number 10, just add by 10s. This is what the width, the wideness of the pattern will be. That means you'll have more of these motifs on there. Everything else stays the same. You'll just have extra of these, which of course you're going to work on it when it's to do the leaves and flowers. So if this is 55, you can go 65, 75, 85. The only difference it's going to make is going to give you more of these motifs, okay? So you can do it with number 10 and Lydia. You just have to increase it because it's very thin, or you double or triple your thread. Okay, so I'll meet you on the other side. It's just a repeat now. 1 box here, 7 double crochets, 17 boxes, 7 double crochets, and 1 box. Okay, you guys, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. This is very important now. If you don't have markers, you can grab a piece of thread and just tie it at the edge. In order to get these motifs, to get these flowers, I'll show you this way because this is what we're building, okay? These little squares here, in order for these leaves to go in, okay? We have 1 square, we have 2 squares, we have the 3 here, and then 2 squares, and then 1. So it takes 5 rows to build one of those motifs for the leaves. So basically what you need to do, it's like as if we're here now at the beginning again. So right after all your double crochets, you can pin, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. You need to have 5 build-ups because you can go the length you want. So basically you're here now. You just finished doing this row here. You're going to repeat the rows again and then come back to it again. So there's 2 rows of 7 here. We need to build another row, exactly the same thing, and then the next row, because that's 1 square, and then the next row 2 squares, then the next row 3 squares, the next row 2. So we increase on squares here until 3, and then we decrease, and then we increase, and then we decrease until the desired length you'd like. And it's always a repeat of the same thing. As long as you put the marker, you'll know which row you're in. You can't make a mistake because you're putting markers as you're going. So now we're going to repeat this row. And that's what we're going to do. Exactly the same thing. I'm going to continue mine. I don't know what's the length, because once we do the length we want, we have to finish exactly as on the last row here. like that, so we can build this in. But as soon as I'm done my length, I'll come back to you and we'll do it together for the rest of the 3 rows here to complete the length of the runner. Okay, so I'll meet you at the end of mine. Okay, everyone, so I have all together so far, starting from the beginning, I have 61 rows. That means I've stopped where we have the 2 groups of 7 double crochet because our motif stops there. As I explained, it's 5 rows of those motifs. And so we are pretty much here as the beginning. So now we need to repeat 1, 2, 3, 4, these 4 rows. So the next thing we're going to do now is cut down. So we're going to do the single 3 chain into the next space, double crochet 1 chain space, skip a space, and now we're going to be doing the double crochets all the way to the end, 1 per space. So you know you're going to have on the other end the 2 little boxes here, exactly how we have here at the beginning. Okay, and we're going to do 1 double crochet inside of the chain, 1 on top of the double crochet, 1 inside in the chain, while the double crochet the previous row, all the way to almost the end. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 until the 5 double crochets, and then we have to do the 2 little boxes also. So I've done up until 1, 2, 3, 4, and let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 double crochets here, and I'm counting from the previous row. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We got to do those 2 boxes, so we skip 1 chain, and we do the 2 boxes the same way as we did here. Now we're going to do this row with 3 boxes, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 double crochets. So you have to do, you could do your 3 chain or a single like myself and 3 chain. So we gotta do the 3 boxes, skip 1 into the next one. So we have the 3 boxes. Now we're going to do the 9 double crochet. So do your 9, 1 chain, skip a space, and do 9 double crochets again, exactly like we did at the beginning, and then skip a space, and then 9 more. Skip a space, 9 more, and then the 3 boxes at the end. Okay, so I have my 1, 2, 3, 4 groups of 9 double crochet, 1 chain, skip a space, 1 chain, skip a space, and now we're going to do the 3 boxes, skip a space, 1 chain, my second box, and my last 3rd box. And now we're going to do all double crochet. No, not even. 1, 2, 3, 4 boxes and 5 double crochet, and then 3 box, 5 double crochet, 3 box, 5 double crochet, 3 box, 5 double crochet, and on the last corner 4 boxes. So we're going to do 4 boxes. Now, like I said, you can go as big as you like on this, as long as you finish with the two little squares there, because you need those 5 rows for the motifs, as I explained. So we're going to do the 4 boxes. So I did my first box, my second, my third, go right on top of the double crochet, skip a space, and my 4th box. Now we're going to do 5 double crochet, one chain, my first box, one chain, my second box, one chain, skip a space, and continue to do your 5 double crochets. So it's, I mean, it's very simple. If you look at the beginning of your pattern, you just follow through the same way, or just rewind the video to the beginning. But I think it's much easier if you look through the beginning of your pattern. Okay, so 3, 3. The only time that's going to have 4 is here at the end. 4 boxes. Everywhere else is 3. Okay, so I'll meet you at the end. So we are on our last row. We're just going to do boxes. So we're supposed to have 25 of them, exactly like the beginning. So just double crochet over double crochet and proceed all the way to the end. Same thing as we did with the first row. Skip one space on the 5 double crochets, skip a space, and just continue on double crochet over double crochet, and we're going to have 25 boxes. Okay everyone, so I'm going to come in with my green. We're going to start to build those leaves, slip stitch. Okay you guys, so I've made a single where we have connecting rows right on top. This is my first motif, my second motif, where we have the 3 and the 3. So in between, where we have the 2 groups of 7 double crochet. Now you have to really give it loosage when you're doing the leaves, or you're going to have a hard time. So we're going to come in the center, do a single. And I know it's a little bit tricky at the beginning, but once you get used to it, you'll be okay. So I'm going to do 3 chain after I've done my single. So I have 3 singles. Trying to hide my little thread here. 1, 2, and 3. 3 chain. I'm going to give it loosage, and I'm going to come in the first block here and stretch. 1, 2. Coming in the bottom one. 1, 2, and make it loose enough, or you're going to have a hard time to pass through all of these threads at the end here. 2 on your last box, on the bottom box here. 1, 2, and on the first one. 1, 2. Sometimes it comes out easy in one shot, and sometimes it takes a little bit more practice, especially if your tension is tight. You're going to have a hard time. So you have to come with your thread all the way through. 1, 2, 3, 4 chain. Why 4 chain? Because we've closed in one, we're not counting that. So it will be like as 3 chain that we did here at the beginning, and 1 and after your 4 chain, or you can do 3 chain if you're too loose. Go right on top. Let me just bring this up a little bit more, make it easier. Single inside of the box, 1 on top of the split rows there, 1 in the box, and one on top of there. Again, 1, 2, 3 chain. Coming in the first box, 1, 2. Coming in the bottom one, 1, 2. Coming in where we have the 3 boxes, the last one, stretch it well, 2. In the next one, in the bottom, 1, 2. And then the very first one here, 1, 2. Now you got to pull through all of them. So if it's loose enough, it slips right through it. 1, 2, 3, 4 chain. Then you just fix it afterwards. Now it's going to look all crumpled up. But once we keep going, it will all fit into place. And then a single right on top. And one in the middle. And one on top again. One in the middle. And one on top. And we're going to repeat 1, 2, 3. And repeat the process again. Coming in here, coming in here, coming in here. Coming in the second one here. And on the last one here. Okay, so I've done the last one here. I've done my 4th chain. Just bring this up a little bit more. I'm going to come in where it separates the rows with a single. I'm going to come right in the corner here. Actually, inside of the space here, sorry. Single. 1, 2 chain. I'm going to come back into the same space. We're going to turn it now. I'm going to come right on top of, let me see where I'm at. Yeah, right on top of the double crochet there. And chain 3. 1, 2, 3. This is how we're going to proceed with the corner. So we're going to come in the first one. 1, 2. Even though it's busy here, we're still going to come in. 1, 2. Into the middle of this one. 1. Make sure you stretch that well. You're going to have a hard time. 1, 2. And then the last one here. 1, 2. Now sometimes it doesn't go in the first shot. You go through some of them to make it easier for you in case you start getting stuck. And if it doesn't happen, then you have to take it down. And you have to stretch it well again. So I'm up to there. So I have to go back into the middle here. This is where it was not passing. So I must have had it very tight over there. And try to get it through it. I think this last one is too tight because I have a knot there. Maybe if I can escape that knot, I'll do much better. And I managed to escape it. Okay, so I've closed in 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm going to come in on top of the double crochet, single, 1 inside of the space, on top of the double crochet, 1 inside of the space, and on top of the double crochet. And then again, 1, 2, 3. So we're always going to proceed this way as soon as you hit the 2 squares, right? Dogs are going nuts. Must be the cat at this time. We're pretty late here in Europe already. And then come again. And again. And again. And again. Take your time with it. You don't have to fly with it at all. I think I didn't pull this one properly. Okay, so managed to get at least half. And the other one. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Then on top of the double crochet. Okay, so we're going to proceed this way until the corner. In the corner, you have to repeat exactly the same thing. Once you get to the corner, you will have to go where it meets. 1 single, 2 chain, 1 single in the corner, 1 on top of the double crochet, 3 chain, and then it continues on. If you need to rewind and check it out to make sure again, then go ahead and I'll meet you at the corner. Okay, so we're at the next corner, 3 chain, no different than what we just done on the other corner. 2 in the bottom. On the third one here in the bottom, on the second one here, okay, oops, then on the first one up top. I know it gets tighter because there's so much in that hook, right? But just take your time with it. If you have to do like a few at a time, then you do it. If it comes down, then you have to redo it again. On the second one, not the third one, because this belongs to this row here, okay? It's going to take a bit of practice, but once you get the hang of it, you're good to go. 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm going to come on top of the double crochet here. Okay, 1 inside, 2 chain. This is for the corner. Come back again, and on top of the in between row, and then we start again. In here, in here, in here, in here, in here. So we never do the top middle one. Okay, so do yours and I'll meet you at the end. Okay, everyone, so I pretty much finished doing all of my leaves. And we're going to start. I have the multicolored purple, so it's the same colors as I used for the round ones. I'm going to come in where we have the 5 singles, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. On my second single, it doesn't matter which 5 singles you start. So I'm going to come in my second single here and do a single, next space, another single, and my next space, another single. So I have 3 singles. Okay, so I'm not doing the first one and I'm not doing the last one. I'm going to do chain 3, 1, 2, 3. I'm going to come inside of the middle here. I call it the chicken feet, by the way. I don't know why, it just reminds me of chicken feet. I'm going to come in and do a single and chain 4, 2, 3, 4. This is to prepare this V or this loop of 4 chain in the center here, and all of them is for the flowers. 1, 2, 3. I'm going to skip the first one. I'm going to come into the second single with a single, single, and single. So we have 3 singles. Chain 3, 1, 2, 3. Come in the center again of the leaf with single and 1, 2, 3, 4. Back in the same space. 1, 2, 3. Skip the first one, come into the second. 1, 2, 3 singles. Okay, we're heading into the corner. 1, 2, 3, almost, and into the middle. 1, 2, 3, 4. Back in with a single. Chain 3. 1, 2, and 3. We're coming where we have the 2 chains with a single. 1, 2, 3 chain this time. Back into the same space. Chain 3. 1, 2, 3. And into the center of the other corner. 1, 2, 3, 4. And back in. So we're just going to repeat this all the way around the same way. 1, 2, 3. Skip the first one into the second and do your 3 singles. I'll meet you at the end. Okay, everyone, so I've closed in with a slip stitch on the first single. I'm going to come in to the second one and do a single. Now we're going to do triple. So we're going to roll. You're going to have 3 on your hook. I'm going to just bring this up a bit. And we're going to do triple, triple, 3 triples, and then 1, 2, 3 chain. We're going to come back in and close it with single. 1, 2, 3 chain. And again, we're going to do 3 triples on the middle leaf here. So I'm on my second triple, my third, and 1, 2, 3 chain back down, single. So we have 2 petals already. 1, 2, 3, and 3 more triples. So we are on my second triple and my third triple. Now we're going to come into the second, the middle, with a single, and then you restart again with the other petal where we have the 4 chains. That's where we're doing the petals, the flowers. So just remembering 3 triples always and 3 chain. 1, 2, 3. Come back in with a single. 1, 2, 3, and 3 triples again. So we have 2 and 3. 1, 2, 3 chain, back in, and do 1, 2, 3 chain and 3 triples again. 1, 2, and 3. Come into the middle single with a single. So now you have your 3 petals. We're going to go into, I'll meet you here at the corner when we get to the corner. So we're going to do this one. So do your 3 your triples and come in and continue on there, and I'll meet you at the corner. So we've reached the corner. We're going to do 2 chain, and we're going to come in where we have the 3 chain on the corner, and that will be the same for all of them, with a single, 2 chain again, and we're going to start the triples again on the next 4 chain that we have there. One, 2, 3, and then come back in. 1, 2, 3, and continue on with the petals. So it's just basically a repeat now. Corners, they stay the same as we just finished doing. Hey everyone, so I pretty much finished doing all my flowers all the way around. I've cut my thread, I've closed in on my first single with a slip stitch. And now all you have to do is just tuck in your loose ends, make a few knots in between here and there to make sure that nothing comes apart. We're going to come back in with the white. We're almost done. So you would do your slip stitch knot. Come anywhere on any flower. On your second triple, so we have the 3 chain going up on the second one, we're going to do a single and 1 chain. Skipping 1 triple, going into the next one, and a single, and then chain 10. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And repeating the same thing on the second triple, single, 1 chain. On the before last, so you're only skipping 1, right? We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Skip the first one into the second, skip the next one into the third, or the fourth, I should say. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And then come in again and repeat everything. Okay, so I'll meet you at the corner. So we've reached the corner, and now the corners, only the corners are 17 chain stitch. So 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. And you would come and hook it on the other side of the flower. 1 chain, and then a single. Then go back to your 10. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So only the corners we're doing 17 chain stitch. Hooking on the second triple, 1 chain, skip 1 triple into the next. We're going to do this all the way around. I'll meet you at the end. Okay, everyone, so I pretty much came in and closed in with a slip stitch on my first one. I'm going to come back in and I'm going to do a single and 2 chain. This will equal my double crochet because we'll complete when we come around. We're going to do 12 double crochets inside of the loops, and in the corners we're going to do 22. Okay, so we're coming into the first 10 chain and doing 12 double crochet. So when we come around, we already have 1. We'll complete with 11, and we'll have the 12 done in there. Okay, so we're going to do 12 double crochets. I've done my 12 double crochets. We're going to go directly into the next 10 chain and proceed again with 12 double crochets. We'll fix it at the end, stretch them out. You know, sometimes, you know, when we're working, they're all crumpled up, so it looks like we have space in there, but we don't. 5, 6, 7, until you get your 12. Okay, you guys, so I've come directly into the corner already. Went right through, and in here in the corner is only 22 double crochet. And then you can cut your thread at the end. There's only one more little detail at the end, and that's optional for you. Okay, so 22 on the corners, and then we'll fix everything up, and 12 on the 10 chain. Okay, everyone, so I'm reaching the end, and if you remember, we did the first single and 2 chains, and I mentioned we'd complete the 12 on the way back. So I have 11 that I've done, and this is the 12. Now we can cut our thread and tuck in the loose ends and we're going to just finalize the edge. Okay, you guys, so last row. I've already put a purl on there, and what I did was I passed it through the same thread as I did the flowers, 8 millimeters, and then I just passed the thread to the back on the second triple on this side and the second on the other, and I made 3 knots in the back and cut my thread, and that's as easy as that. Now this is optional for the last row. We're going to use back loops only. You can start anywhere you'd like. So you'd come in and back loop and just do singles all the way around. Nothing to it, 1 per space. Try to hide my thread as I go. So just single crochets. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. Thank you, Lucivania ArtesCroche. This is a beautiful table runner to match those doilies. And I want to thank every single one of you. I'll have the little video and pictures at the end in display and I'll also leave the link to the round ones. And I'll leave the link to Lucivania's also channel. You guys could always go. You can subscribe. You can follow her. You can turn your settings into the language preferable to you. So this is nothing to it, very simple. So when you get to this part here, we're going to come right inside of, that's to cover this hole there, inside where the white is. We're going to pull once, twice, 3 times, and 4. This is like doing a poof. And then pull through. Of course, my stitch is always so tight. And then close it off. And then come back in, back loops again on your first double crochet. And do your singles. So very simple. And it gives it a beautiful decoration on your pattern. I'll leave all the measurements below. And it's pretty much for this tutorial. Thank you so much, everybody. Please don't forget to give a thumbs up on the video. It's extremely important. And if you haven't subscribed, please do so. It helps the channel to grow. It's the only way that we can continue on by having the channel being recognized. So, again, come back in. 1, 2, 3, and 4, and then close it off and back loops again. Look how pretty that looks. Okay, thank you everyone. Until next time, bye bye.